Hey, it's that card girl, and today we're going to be taking a look at the last of the Gundam card game starter decks that are out right now. This is Starter Deck 4, Siege Strike. It's a white and red deck that features faces familiar to those of you who've watched Mobile Suit Gundam Seed. While Hans is getting into this box, I just want to go ahead and remind you that we put out new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday with shorts on Sundays. We focus mainly on Gundam, Pokemon, One Piece, and Lorcana. Now, inside the box we have our deck bundle, bonus pack, and hey, the quick start guide came out with everything else this time. Our deck bundle is nicely cradled in the box and wrapped in a plastic band. And our bonus pack contains one random full art holo version of any card in this deck. Hans has set that aside to open after we go over our deck. So, let's get to looking at our deck bundle, starting with our 50 card main deck made up of units, pilots, commands, and bases, in that order. Our first unit card is the White LR Ailstrike Gundam, which is level 5, has a cost of 4, 4 attack, and 4 health. The link pair pilot for this card is Kira Yamato, and we get 2 copies of it. We also get 2 copies of the level 4 3-cost red LR unit, Aegis Gundam, which has 4 attack and 3 health. The link pair pilot is Athranzala. Into our non-LR white unit cards, we have 4 copies of level 4 2-cost Strike Gundam with 3 attack and health. Its link pair pilot is Kira Yamato. There are 4 copies of Mobius Zero, which is level 3, has a cost of 2, 2 AP, and 4 HP. The link pair pilot for this unit is Mula Flaga. 3 copies of the blocker Mobius, which is 1s across the board. Level, cost, attack, health, all 1s. We have 3 copies of the level 2 2-cost Strike Dagger with 3 AP and 2 HP. Now we have our red units, starting with 4 copies of Aegis Gundam MA Mode, a level 4 3-cost unit with 3 attack and 4 health. Its link pair pilot is Athranzala. There are 3 copies of level 2 1-cost Jin with 2 attack and health. Three copies of Miguel's Jin, which has a level and cost of 2, 3 attack, and 1 health. It link pairs to Miguel Amon. On to our pilots, we have 4 copies of the level 4 1-cost white pilot card, Kira Yamato, who gives the unit it's paired with plus 2 attack and plus 1 health. And we have 4 copies of the red pilot card, Athranzala, which is level 4 and 1 cost as well. And this pilot gives the unit you pair it to plus 1 attack and plus 2 health. Now to our command cards. Starting with white, there are 3 copies of Striker Pack, which is level 4 and has a cost of 2. Three copies of Hawk of Endymion, which is level 2 and has a cost of 1. Our red command card is the Magic Bullet of Dusk, which we get 2 copies of and is a level 3 card with a cost of 1. The last of our main deck is our base cards, starting with 3 copies of the white base Archangel, which is level 3, has a cost of 1 and 5 health. And then our red base Vesalius, which is level 3, 1 cost, and has 5 health. We also get 3 copies of this base. Moving out of our main deck, we have our 10 resource cards. There's one EX base and one EX resource. And then we have our 6 unit tokens. And there's 2 copies of Ailstrike Gundam, which has 3 attack and 3 health. 2 copies of Launcher Strike Gundam with 2 AP and 4 HP. And 2 copies of Sword Strike Gundam with 4 AP and 2 HP. And all these unit tokens are blockers. At the very end of our deck bundle is the cardboard damage counter with 4 1s, 2 2s, 2 3s, 1 4, an AP -2, and an AP +1 token. And that's everything that comes in the deck bundle, so let's take a deeper dive into some of those cards. Starting with our white pilot, Kira Yamato. This pilot's burst, like all pilot's burst so far, lets you add this card to your hand instead of sending it to your trash when you draw it from a hit to your shields. And this pilot also has the ability to give -2 attack to an enemy unit for the battle when you attack with it when they're paired to a unit. So let's take a look at the LR unit that this pilot link pairs with. Ailstrike Gundam is a blocker. When you pair it with a pilot that is level 4 and up, you return an enemy unit with 4 or less HP to the owner's hand. Our red pilot is Zala. On the turn you link pair this pilot to a unit, you can pick an active level 5 or less enemy unit as its attack target. He gives the unit he's paired with +1 attack and +2 health, so when you link pair him to Aegis Gundam, it makes the unit a 5 AP and HP unit. Which means you'll get the Aegis Gundam's effect, letting you deal 3 damage to a level 5 and up enemy unit of your choice when attacking, since Aegis Gundam is at 5 HP thanks to Zala. Keep in mind, this attack effect only happens if Aegis Gundam is at 5 HP at the start of the attack. If you don't have a pilot paired to it, or the pilot paired doesn't give any additional attack, you won't get to deal 3 damage to an enemy unit even if you play something during the block step that ups its attack. Now, let's move on to our command cards. I mentioned it before in our video going over the first starter deck, and I'll mention it again when we do our play video, but command cards can all function as a one-time use card. You meet their level, pay their cost, get their effect, and then put them in the trash. However, some command cards can also be used as pilot. Like our red command card, the Magic Bullet of Dusk. As a command card, you can play this during your main phase or during the action step. It allows you to give first strike to a friendly level 2 or less unit for the turn. Usually, during the damage step, both units deal their damage to each other at the same time. So even if your unit has more attack than an enemy unit has health, your unit will still take damage from the enemy unit. A unit with first strike, however, will deal damage to the unit it's battling before the enemy unit deals damage to it. So, if the unit with first strike has more attack than the enemy unit has health, it will not take any damage from the enemy unit. Now, if you don't want to use the Magic Bullet of Dusk as a command card, it can be used as the pilot Miguel Amon, and he'll give the unit he's paired with an additional 1 health. Moving on to our white command cards, we have Hawk of Endymion. This can be used during your main phase or during an action step to allow you to return an enemy unit that has 3 or less health to its owner's hand. It can also function as the pilot Mulaflaga, and will give the unit it's paired with +1 attack. Our last command card cannot be a pilot card, but I think it more than makes up for it with its effects. Striker Pack lets you deploy an Ailstrike Gundam unit token as its burst if you do not have any Earth Alliance unit tokens already in play. Mind you, all 3 of the unit tokens that come with this starter deck are Earth Alliance unit tokens. If you don't pull this card from your shields and instead play it from your hand during your main phase, you can deploy either a Sword Strike Gundam unit token or a Launcher Strike Gundam unit token, so long as you have no other Earth Alliance unit tokens already in play. Miguel's Gen lets you draw 1 card when it's destroyed, so long as it's paired and you have another Link unit in play. So, if you want that card draw, try to make sure you have a Link unit on your field when you play this card. The white base Archangel has a burst that lets you deploy it, and when you deploy this base from the burst or from your hand, you add a shield to your hand. Then, when you have this base in play, once per turn during your main phase, you can rest 2 resources to be able to set 1 friendly blocker unit as active. Now, you can't set this blocker as active and then have it attack again during your turn, but it will be able to block during your enemy's turn when it otherwise wouldn't have been able to. And that's it for this explanation video. Let's take a peek at the bonus pack and see what card we get an alt for this time. The C+ Aegis Gundam MA mode. This card is gorgeous. Like, comment, subscribe, and tell that one person you know who's made the fact that they're a manager their whole personality about us. That card girl out!